How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. It is the third chapter in the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, and it's a good one. We go backstage with the cast, and guess who else joins us? Toothless! I will start off by saying, great to see you again.
Thank you.
And nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations on a fantastic franchise.
Thank you.
Some movies don't make it past one.
Yeah.
Some rarely make it past two.
Yeah.
And now you've got a third that's already doing great before it even opens up in the U.S. So you got to be pretty excited.
Yeah, it's a special thing.
Is it hard to say goodbye to these characters? I know they're saying this is the last. I hope it's not. But is it hard to say goodbye to these characters?
I don't know that I've processed it completely. It kind of snuck up on me. The last recording session I did with Dean, our director, there was no fanfare or anything. I don't even know that either of us had clocked that it was the last one, so you don't really make much of a fuss about anything. But then it was over, and it was just like, oh, holy smokes! I guess that's that. Yeah, it doesn't feel real that it's done yet.
It hit me when I finally got to watch the movie, and 20 minutes before the end, this beautiful magical moment happens, and I started tearing, and then it just opened the floodgates, and then I thought, oh my God, it's over, and I just cried the whole time.
I'm not even in the movie, and I was crying. I was like, this cannot be the end of it. Is it hard to say goodbye to this character?
Yeah, I'm actually in denial about it. I don't think that, I know everybody's saying, well, this is the last movie in the final chapter. I'm like, yeah, but we can do another one. And they're like, no, that's it. And I'm like, okay.
Dude, they don't even need to open this movie in America. I don't know if you've heard this.
What happened?
It's killing it oversease.
Oh, I'm so... I can't tell you how delighted I am to hear that. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
I read it this morning. It's huge. It's enormous.
Oh, that's great.
And
could you call my agent and see if I get any extra cash for that? That's fantastic.
As he looks over at his agent.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, so is this really the end?
It is. Yep. It is. I don't own the franchise, so there could be some other expansion of the Dragon property here at DreamWorks. But as far as Hiccup and Toothless and their story, the idea was to take it to a conclusive end in 3 acts, and that's what we did.
How have these, being a character like this over the span of 10 years?
12.
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
How have these characters become a part of you?
I mean, I often say it's hard to see where I stop and he begins, and I think that's down to Dean has always encouraged us to kind of take ownership of these characters, and I don't know if that was him just humoring us to get our willies out, but it seems like a lot of us ended up in each incarnation of this character, and so and what's also neat is that we've been doing this for 12 years, so I kind of think they've grown up alongside us in a way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so much has changed in 12 years for us in real life and also for the characters. I just love Astrid and Hiccup and this whole world. And not only did we do the films, we also did the entire television series, just 6 seasons of the television series. And so we've really been living with these characters for quite some time. And I just love I love what I get to express through Astrid. She's such a... she's a warrior and she's just so game and brave and courageous and I love what she gets to be for so many young boys and girls watching, to see that character existing in this world of action and fun has just been such a privilege to get to play her, and I'm gonna miss her a lot.
You're perfect for this role. You're the wit, the sarcasm that's there. Do they let you be you? How much do they let you be you?
Oh, a lot. I mean, look, Dean writes these movies and he writes the dialogue, but when we go in there, we play around with it, and he will rewrite on the spot from things that I ad-lib. He lets me ad-lib a little bit. I can't claim any authorship of the movie, but I say that he gives us plenty of room to have input and create the characters. He asks the actor to do a job, and it's fun. It's really fun.
When did you know this was a hit with fans?
I think actually before the first one came out, because my youngest son, who's just about to go to college now, but he was only 10 years old when the first one came. Actually, he was younger. He must have been 8 when the first one came out. he's into animation. He's going to go and study animation now, but he's always been into it. So we did a tour of the production facility when the first movie was just in rough form, and he was like, "This is amazing. This is so great. Look at these dragons. Look at the ocean. Look at that." And I was like, "Oh, I think this is probably going to do all right."
That is hilarious.
Yeah. I know.
When you started for the first one, I know it's an adaptation, but when you started, what inspired you to take this on?
It was a phone call from my former Lilo and Stitch collaborator, Chris Sanders, who had been working on The Croods, and he got thrown onto this movie with 15 months before its release, which is not a lot of time in animation. And the mandate was to come up with a new story, to veer away from the books and just fill it with fantasy adventure tropes. So, yeah, he called me up and he said, "This is your wheelhouse. It's a young kid in over his head in a world of fantasy, and I think you'd love it." And so we jumped onto it, and it was all go until we got that movie in the theater.
It's difficult to do a sequel. It's even harder to do a third chapter. Is there pressure to do that, to keep the story moving?
There's tremendous pressure, mostly from ourselves, because we've seen some of our favorite franchises disappoint in the third installment, so we didn't want to be one of those. And I think we keep each other quite honest in that regard. I grew up a Star Wars kid, so that initial trilogy was a big inspiration for me. It shaped, who I am as a storyteller, and so I wanted to follow in that tradition as well and take a story that people love and sort of expand upon not only the adventure and the wonder of it, but also the emotion.
How many Gobber action figures do you own?
I don't know if I have any. How many
They
do you
sell
own?
them.
They sell them?
Yes.
Do I get a piece of that? Can you call my agent and see if I get a piece of the Gobber action
As
figures?
we look over at the agent again. No, actually, I was going to buy one. I was looking. I said, maybe I got to make sure. And I looked. Yeah, they were on this morning. I looked,
Really?
yeah, there's
a Gobber action
figure.
Well, I should have one.
You should at least
Yes,
have.
Universal, if I can at least have one. Thank you.
You need to come to Houston and bring your live show to town.
I would like to do that, actually. In fact, I will do that. I haven't been to Houston in a long time.
When you were in Houston, tell me your experience. Did you have a good time?
I had fun there. Yeah, it's a good. And down from Houston is Galveston.
Absolutely.
My dream place.
Tell me why.
I've never been there, but once when I got anesthetic, I went for a tooth thing. I woke up singing Galveston, oh Galveston, and I don't know why. So I think I'm called there spiritually.
Can I tell you that I'm best friends with Glenn's son? I actually knew Glenn.
Are you really?
Campbell, true story. Oh, well, we've really taken that.
No. He was on the late night show when I was doing the late.
Yeah.
I was a huge Glenn
Great
Campbell
guy.
fan. Oh, I mean, he was that last album. Come on, that's crazy to go out on that album. I still listen to that all the time. It's getting to you a little bit, me talking about it, isn't it?
It is.
I know, yeah.
Why do we need dragons right now?
No, I think dragons represent something that's beautiful and pure about the natural world, and we humans, in order to deserve them, need to figure ourselves out. And I think we're kind of abusive to our planet and abusive to one another. So I think it's just as a story that pertains to today, there's something delicate and hopeful about the idea of dragons, because the legend says they'll come back if we can figure out our own issues.
It is one of the most anticipated movies this year as a director. It's already doing what you don't even need the USA. I know you've seen the headlines. This movie's doing fantastic around the world. Now it's about to open in America. As a director, does that make you feel proud?
Yes, it does. It does. Because we, the crew, first and foremost, we want to love the movie. We want to feel proud of it. But it's validation if it goes out there and connects with people. And if they go to see the movie, obviously it keeps us afloat and does well for the studio. It does well for the industry. But it's also validation of just our own beliefs, our convictions, embraced by a worldwide audience.
So real quick, we're going to describe your experience of these films in one word. We'll start with you. What's the one word to describe this experience?
Magical.
Important.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a little sad. They're saying this is the last in the franchise. I hope it's not. I love these movies, and so will you. Toothless. You agree with me? How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, in theaters this Friday. Our travel by Universal Pictures.